Hello, I'm filming one more circuit for today. So, what we're going to do is the same as in all of the circuits, strength, cardio, and core. And however many you choose or how you mix and match these is completely up to you. As they're saved, I'm just going to save them in numerical form, but they can be mixed and matched. They can also be done one right after the other if you want to do it that way. So we're going to start with another circuit, and we're going to go into what I like to call mountain pose shoulder letdowns. So we're going to pick up a weight here, probably one that's fairly light. Again, you can use water bottles. We're going to start with our palms out, bring them all the way up in a V, and you're going to let them down in front of your body here. So I'm going to try to move back just a little bit so that you can see how my arms are coming up, and then we're coming down. So palms face out here, we go up, let them touch, and then bring them back down. This is a great exercise to train your rotator cuff muscles. And since with these you have to use a little bit of a lighter weight, you're going to target some of those smaller muscles. It's just a really gentle, easy way to target those shoulder muscles. I have, as I always tell my clients, notoriously weak shoulder muscles. But these are great at making you feel like you get a complete workout in your shoulders without having to do the overhead presses. So we're here and we'll just let these down. And again, you can use water bottles here. If you're traveling, water bottles are great. Especially whenever you're doing these movements with rotation of the shoulders here. I will show y'all some bicep wheels that involve a rotation that are also really good when you're traveling. We'll come down one more time here. Okay, now we're going to go into a wide deadlift. And every time I mention the word deadlift in front of my clients, they cringe. So I'm going to teach you the science behind a proper deadlift. So I have 5-pound weights. Typically, this is an exercise that you want to go a little bit heavier with. So our deadlift, and it's always good if you're using a lighter weight, that's always good to first learn about proper form. So, and you can even do these without a weight while you're learning about form. And then as time goes on and you progress, you can always go up to a higher weight. So with our narrow deadlift, we're going to be standing right at about hip width apart. And I'm going to start these to show you from the side. So we want a neutral spine here. Our chin is up, and we're going to end up looking about 3 feet in front of us. But we're going to hinge at the hips. You want a slight bend in your knee. We're hinging at the hips here. You're going to come down. You're going to feel the stretch in your hamstring. As soon as you feel that stretch, you're going to gently pull up. So there's one. You're going to come down. All of your weight is pressed into your heels. You'll feel the stretch here, and then you're going to come up. Now we're going to progress with this form because my clients will tell you I'm a stickler on this. As we come down, we'll feel the stretch. Now, as you reach the bottom, you're going to use that pelvic tilt. And you're going to use the contraction in your glutes to bring yourself up. So instead of using your back to bring you up, you're using the glute muscle. You're going to lift from the pelvic floor to bring you up. So if you could feel what's going on right now, when you're down at the bottom of your movement, you're going to contract everything in your pelvis, and you're going to hinge at that hip while you're contracting, come back up to standing, and you're going to contract the glutes at the top of the movement. And this is how slow it's going to be. It's a very, very slow movement. So you want to think about coming up from your pelvis and not utilizing your back. We are working the lower body, not the upper body. So we're hinging at the hip. We're going to feel the stretch in the hamstring. We're going to contract the glute muscles, and you're going to feel that whenever you contract and utilize that pelvic tilt, your upper body is automatically going to start lifting. That's where you want to contract from. We're going to take 2 more here. So we'll go 1. Contract and hold it at the top. And we'll come down for 1 more. This is a mind-muscle connection that I continue to talk about. Whenever you can feel the contraction in the muscle that you're working on, and you're thinking about it at the same time as contracting, that's when you're going to see a difference in the muscle. It does not matter how many reps you do. It's about how effective the reps are, and that's what I want everybody to understand. So we're coming back to the upper body here. Our palms are out. We're going to do those let downs. So we're going to raise up here, and we're going to let this down here. And just like the key is with the upper body, you never want to use momentum to come up. You want to come up fluid, and you want to control the movement down. So if you're ever using momentum to come up, you need to drop the amount of weight. If the weights are ever dropping on the way down, drop the amount of weights. You want to control the weight as they're working their way down. So this is directly training the shoulders here. Slow and controlled, very fluid here. And if you see this from the side, you'll notice that I am not arching the back. It's a very neutral spine, and you're bringing them down. You want your body to stay in a very neutral position. And my knees are not locked. I don't know if you can tell, but they are bent just a slight hair. We'll go 3, 2, and last one here. Slow and controlled on the way down. Okay, back to the deadlifts. I'm going to do a few facing the camera at first, and then I'll turn back to the side. So again, we're narrow here. This is our narrow deadlift. We're going to come down, and we're going to find that point where our hamstrings stretch. And then right at that point, you're going to contract the glutes. And you're going to use that motion to bring the upper body back up to standing. So we're here. We feel the stretch. Contract the glutes, pelvic tilt, elevator your way up, and then maintain that contraction at the top. So we're here, and we're using that contraction to come all the way up. A lot of my clients, I can say this over and over again, and sometimes it just takes me saying it one different way and they understand it. But it is extremely hard to make that mind-muscle connection, because when we pick up something off of the ground, we automatically are using the back and the upper body to raise our bodies back up. We want to say to ourselves, I'm working the lower body, not the upper body. And the best way to do that is take your mind, concentrate it where you're working. Right now we're working the glutes and the hamstrings. The slower you go, the more you're able to make that connection. Contract the glutes, and that will raise you up. It's not your upper body lifting you. 3, 2, and last one here. And as you can maybe even see, I'm lifting my toes off the ground. That's another reminder to make sure that my weight is going all the way into my heels. So In our combination of upper and lower body, we're gonna go into a narrow squat with an upright row. So this is gonna get our heart rate up. Narrow squat, we are hip width apart. And we're gonna take the weights and we're gonna bring them out here. Knees are over ankle. It's a narrow squat. The tush goes back. Come up, narrow raise here. And we're not going above the collarbone. Narrow squat, narrow raise up. Now, as you come out of your squat, utilize that same pelvic tilt and the contraction of the glutes to raise you up. It's like an elevator. The floor of an elevator is raising you up. And again, with the upper body, we're not jamming the weights up to our chin. We're raising them up to about shoulder level. It's slow and controlled. You don't have to do a ton of reps as long as they're effective. 3, 2, and last one here, hold that contraction. Drop the weights, get some water, and we are into our cardio. So again, for our cardio section, 3 to 5 minutes. We want our heart rate to be about a level 7 on a scale from 1 to 10. You want to make sure that you're working hard, but you want to be able to maintain control. So for right now, we're just going to go into a little jump rope. And this is about the point where if you have a long hallway, utilize that to run back and forth. If you have a smaller space, if you're on a second floor or a third floor, maybe take your shoes off like I have, and you're just gonna bounce, you're just gonna do something to make your heart rate go up. And that can be as easy as marching in place, like I've said before, or if you have stairs, if you have a stairwell in your apartment complex or office building, utilize those. This is just 3 to 5 minutes of cardio. And as you can tell, my heart rate goes up, my breathing gets labored, and I do this in my class with my clients. I'm in the trenches. A lot of people will tell me it's more motivating for them to hear me breathe. They know if the instructor's working hard, I guess everyone's working hard. But that's okay. I do enjoy all of them. And a lot of my clients, if I'm up here doing jump rope and they want to do something else, they will do their own thing. And I'm fine with that. I always just say 3 to 5 minutes of cardio. Give me anything that you've got as long as your heart rate is a good 7. Okay, so we're here in that jump rope. We'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, last one here, and we will come back to that. So we're going to go into high knees. This will work a little bit of your core too. So we're just here. Now, with this one, you can put a skip into it if you want. Some of my clients will do a high knee and then a booty kick combo. Again, we're just trying to get the heart rate up. It doesn't have to look pretty. It doesn't have to be coordinated. You just need to get the heart rate up. This is normally where I turn the music up in my class and just let everybody go. If you have a favorite song, that's great. That's why I always recommend maybe have me plugged in into earphones, have some music going in the background, drown me out during this 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, we'll switch back to jump rope. 3, 2, and last one. So here, immediately back into this jump rope. Your heart rate will go up if you are utilizing your upper and lower body. But again, we just want to maintain about level 7. If you're using a heart rate monitor, that's going to be at about zone 2 on a 3-zone scale. I can go into explaining cardio zones later. Okay, so we're in that jump rope. We'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, last one here. Catch your breath a little bit. So we'll go back into the high knees. So we're here, and if you want to add a little bit of variety, you can put in some booty kicks here. When you're only doing cardio for 3 to 5 minutes, you can pretty much come up with any movement that you can maintain for 3 to 5 minutes and have your heart rate be at a level 7 on a scale from 1 to 10. We have standing abs coming up next. And then we'll go down to the floor for one little core movement. And that will be the end of this circuit. These relatively go pretty quick. It's almost surprising. We'll take it 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 here. Okay, so we'll go into a little bit of standing abs, and we're just gonna do some punches. So we're gonna keep our heart rate up a little bit here. We have a wide stance, stability, and so we're just gonna punch from side to side. So the key is here, again, anytime that you're doing core work, you want to keep your belly button in. And when you're twisting, don't rotate your back too much. It's not necessary at all. So you see a lot of people, they're really rotating out here, and it's not necessary. If you want to do a deeper rotation, make sure that you're standing a little bit more narrow and put your legs into it a little bit more. So you're not overextending your back. You're deepening that twist without twisting your back too much. So this would look about like here. If you want to speed up your twist, I would recommend having your arms coming out a little bit more forward. Because whenever you start twisting your back, that can lead to a lot of injuries, a lot of problems, and if you already have a bad back, that'll just worsen something, so we don't want to do that. And this is all we need, because we're contracting the core here. And that contraction alone is going to stabilize the core. And then you add in a twist, and that'll add movement to the contraction. And then because we just got done with cardio, we're continuing a pretty quick movement, utilizing the upper and lower body, so our heart rate remains up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one here. So for the end of this circuit, we're going to go into a plank, which I think are the best core exercises, and there's lots of different variations. But we're going to start off with our standard. We're on our hands here, and we can either be on our knees or on our toes. I want to come on the knees because I want to talk about form. So in your plank, what you want is you want your upper body as stable as possible. Your knees are planted to the ground, and your bum is right in line with your back. So just like in a sit-up, we want to make sure that our low back is anchored into the floor. Here, you want to make sure that your belly button is anchored into your spine and you're very stable. So even if you're on your toes, you're going to feel like a plank of wood. And we're just going to hold it here. If you're up on your toes and you need to drop down, maintain the line in your spine through your tush. Belly button is anchored into the spine. And you're down here. And if you feel like you can come up, then we're going to come up again. And we can come down to our knees and hold it here. And then come back up. So if you have to take the break, you have to take the break. It's okay. We'll come down. If it helps you maintain form to take the break, definitely take the break. And then reset your form. I always call it a reset. If you need to take a break from an exercise, it's always better than just going down to the ground. So if you're up and you feel like you're breaking form a little bit, just take that reset and then come back up. But here we're going to hold it 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down to the ground. So that is the end of another circuit. And as the months move on, I'm going to be putting a lot more of these on. I'll come up with new ones. Each week during classes, I always come up with brand new circuits. All of them are different. Again, all the same format, all different exercises, and I'll put different variations and some pulses, some half lifts, some fun stuff. So, end of another circuit. If you're on to another circuit, good luck. And if this is it for today, then have a great day. Thanks.